Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. We're going to take a look at both charts here today, and we can see that Bitcoin has dropped again. It was slightly above 44k earlier today. It has corrected down a little bit, nothing major really, but yeah, Cardano has lost a little bit as well. Both pretty much at a loss in the last 24 hours, slightly. Nothing significant though. Bitcoin and Cardano still in sideways movement, and we're going to take a look at the most imminent probabilities for a potential breakout above 46k, and how are the probabilities for a further price drop, as I still primarily expected into this yellow target area between 20 and 29k. So overall, still the correction ongoing here. The wave 1 was reached in April 21. We've since then seen this ABC correction, and we are on our way down here further, right? We are still in a downtrend. There is no confirmed uptrend yet. And I remain of my view that we have to see a lower low here. So even if, and I can only highlight it again and again, there is of course the alternative scenario that we are going higher here, and that we can go higher here from the breakout point of 46.5k. Now that is not only a Fibonacci retracement level of that move down, it is also the neckline of that head and shoulders, and it is a very strong support and resistance line. It was resistance here throughout January and February, and it was support here since August 21 really. Okay, so it is a very, very important line. A breakout above this line, from my point of view, will unlock much higher prices, and I based it actually on the Elliott Wave count, because if we break above 46.5k, not only do we break this technical resistance level, no, we are also going to go to a different Elliott Wave count scenario, where I would see this as a wave B, and this wave B can get, well, at least to 51k, most likely to 55, but can also go higher, and we can only see that when we then approach each of these fib levels, how the price is going to react to these fib levels when we break. Yeah, that is of course a possibility that we, if we break this level, and that is a very, very important level, that we then are going to unlock higher prices. And I talked about my scenario here for what I'm going to do when we are going to break that level, because I did say, so first of all, if we draw the fibs again, yeah, just for everybody who might not have heard this or seen this, we've got here these fib levels, the retracement of that move down, yeah, that would then be the wave B retracement, but only if we break above 46.5k, then we get a possible target range of at least 51k. So meaning that if we break above 46.5k and stay there, then we are moving in the first instance to 51k. Most likely will be 55k, and the reason for that is the 0.618 fib level. But yeah, we can in this wave B scenario also move all the way up to 65k. That's absolutely possible, but for me the most likely one would be 55k. So let's say we get between 51 and 55k. So like, what did I do? Let me just move like that. Okay, move the indicators. So this is also the potential price target for a potential head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulders that could be forming here. So here on this screen, if I zoom in a little bit, you can see here the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. Yeah, that hasn't formed yet, the right shoulder, but it could do. It could do without a problem. We could come down to the previous support here at around 42k and then move up higher again. It could be an inverse head and shoulder, and then if that level breaks here at this zone needs to break, yeah, between 44.5 and 46.5k. If that breaks, and we take a price target just purely based on, what does us that, what is the target for this inverse head and shoulders, if we add it to the breakout point, there you go. Without much surprise, we are landing here at around 55k. Actually, we need to do it a bit higher. 55k is exactly. So yeah, that's basically a confluence of factors here that make it very likely that we're going to see the 55k, but again, only if we break through this resistance zone. And what am I going to do if we break it? Well, I'm going to open a long trade after a successful retest of that head and shoulders neckline. That's what I'm going to do. So the idea would be that if we break out here of above this level 46.5k, yeah, that I would want to wait for a retest, yeah, and then if I see then the price go up, that is when I would enter a long position, and then would probably take profits here at 55k, but then leave some money in there, leave the trade open until we go to 61k, that's the next fib level, and take some profits there, and then go all the way up to 65k, and still leave probably a little bit remaining money in there, but leave the trade open still. I need to see then how what the price is doing, but for now, I think that is what I'm going to do. That's my game plan for this scenario if we break above 46.5k. And it's not a problem. It will unlock possibilities and opportunities, but it is still not a move to new all-time highs. No sustainable new all-time highs in my view, very clearly. So, I'm not saying we can go up or down. I mean, at the moment, it is pretty much 50-50 here. If we are breaking above this 46.5k line, or if we go down straight away. Yeah. So my primary expectation remains still that we are going to get into this target area here imminently without breaking out, because we haven't broken the trend line yet. So my imminent scenario, or my primary scenario, remains that we're going to get into this target area. That we're going to get into this target area, I see as fact, as absolute necessity. Okay, so for me the question is only, do we do it now, or do we have a little bit of an extension of that of the whole correction here, a little bit of a move to the upside before we then come down? So no, I'm not saying we can go up or down. I'm saying we're going to go into this target area. The question is only, do we do it now imminently, or do we take a bit longer and move up first and then down? So I think this is pretty clear. And the thing is that even if we break above 46.5k, I don't have any trust in this move to the upside in terms of that it could move to new all-time highs or sustainable new all-time highs. The thing is, we still have the problem in the chart that we haven't made a lower low. You need to make these lower lows. It is absolute a necessity. Otherwise, everything that has happened here, which does not look good structurally, is still there. It needs to be neutralized by making that lower low. Okay, and only then you can go all the way up. Of course, and I have to make that clear, it is of course technically also possible that we could go to new all-time highs, but it is just a very unlikely option. And it's also possible that Bitcoin goes to zero, right? But then again, how likely is it? So that's what I mean. Everything's a game of possibilities and probabilities, and you have to understand what can a market do in a certain scenario. So I think this is pretty clear, hopefully. Looking imminently, what is Bitcoin doing at the moment in this sort of channel we are, yeah? We can see that we're potentially rolling over here. So we are below this very clear resistance level at 44.5k. So you can see these basically here. We've got one resistance here at 44.5k, one at 45.5k, and one at 46.5k. So this is basically a zone of resistance, okay? And what you see here, yeah, it's a bit difficult. You could see this just as a sort of channel that way. You can draw it different ways, you know. You can even draw it here a little bit as a potentially slightly ascending wedge even, you know, that would be a little bit bearish. But you can also draw it as a here's some kind of a triangle pattern where you had one fake out here. Yeah. What is noteworthy is these two peaks that we had here. These two peaks, they are quite large candles. Especially this one was an engulfing candle, after which you would normally expect price increases, but it didn't really happen. Yeah, we retested this 45.5k level and it dropped back into the triangle. Yeah, so I watched this when it happened and I thought that we were going to retest this from above, and that was looking good. Then we saw a green candle, but it was only a small one, and in the next candle then we broke down. So we're back in there, back to square one. However, we are in a triangle, and the chances that we're breaking to the upside from here are not too bad. I mean, we have a triangle after a move to the upside, basically a bullish pennant. You can call it a bull flag as well. It typically breaks out to the upside from here. Yeah, it would typically do that. My primary expectation still, though, remains that we're going to drop below 29k imminently, and that we get a sell-off from here. I have to assume that until we break it. Yeah. So at the moment, the market is very unclear. Therefore, 50-50 outcome at the moment, really. Yeah, do we break the level? Do we not break it? That's not a problem. There are market phases where the market is just consolidating and is just moving sideways, and the market needs to decide, and then we can take action. Okay. Then we can take action. That is the information we need. We need to understand what happens in each scenario. Now, the longer we move sideways here, and that is an important factor, the longer we move sideways, the lesser the probability that we're going to break to the upside. And the reason for that is that you get at some point then these indicators to turn bearish, because if the momentum is reducing by moving sideways and the price cannot on time pick up again, then you are getting here something like what you're getting here probably on the 4-hour chart. You're going to get a bearish crossover on the MACD. Now it hasn't happened yet, but the risk is there if it takes too long, because the bulls then don't have enough power. But here on the daily MACD, we are still very early days in the bullish crossover. So, but again, on the different time frames as well, the indicators are a bit contradictory. So we really just need to wait. And I've got solutions for both scenarios. We talked about it. We're prepared on this channel for both scenarios, absolutely. But all I can tell you, we need to have that lower low. It just has to happen, and it will happen. And again, the question is just, do we do it imminently, which I would prefer because it would be faster, or do we have to go this extended move up because everybody's now getting bullish? And then that is something we might have to deal with. Okay, Cardano, nothing new in the Cardano space, unfortunately. The ecosystem as bullish as it's never been, really. A lot of good news, lots of DApps coming out, CNFTs booming, transactions booming, Cardano overtaking Ethereum in terms of transactions, looking really good, everything. It's just the price doesn't pick up yet, really, but we are steadily holding still above this 92-cent level. We had here on the chart, and I think this is working out. We talked about it earlier today. I can't remember what we said, but I know we said that it is quite likely to break out of this to the downside. I can't remember how or why, to be honest. I think it was because we saw, I think, a bearish crossover probably on the RSI, we saw this, I think, getting below 50 here on the 1-hour chart. That was one point. And the MACD, yes, I remember, I think we saw the MACD earlier today in the update turning slightly red again, and based on that we said there is a good chance that we actually drop from here, and it seems to be happening at the moment, but it's only the 1-hour chart, so bear that in mind. It's not too meaningful. We're here in the micro space with our microwaves here. On the 4-hour chart as well, I think we saw that coming. I remember in the previous video we had here the MACD 4-hour chart, bearish crossover. And that again was a good forecaster for what is happening here currently with the price, that we see a bit of a drop. But again, we're still below above the 92-cent support here, that red line. And as long as you're staying above that, the price is holding well. If you drop below 92 cents, then without a problem, I think we're going to see the previous low here, the swing low at 83 cents. And if we lose that, we could get once more to that 75-cent level. Overall, Cardano needs to make a move here, and otherwise it will go down further and get to the 30 to 55-cent level, where it then can complete its correction and start new ways to new all-time highs towards at least $4.50. That's my view here on Bitcoin and Cardano. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership, where you can get access to the Discord server, the Telegram live chat, and a weekly live stream. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.